Ok, da tror jeg at vi begynner, og så kan det hende at flere kommer inn senere, så da kan du bare slippe dem inn, Heidi. Topp. Yes. Hei alle sammen, velkommen. Før vi starter helt, så vil jeg bare informere om at presentasjonen blir tatt opp. Vi har startet recording, og vil publisere den på våre nettsider som webinar. Så hvis du ikke får sett hele, eller kjenner noen som ikke kunne komme, får dere altså sett det i opptak. Mens presentasjonen pågår, så vær så snill å mute deg selv. Det blir tid til spørsmål på slutten. Da ønsker jeg velkommen til denne oppdragsrapporten av Master med mening-oppgave som ble gjennomført i våres. Det masterstudent, ikke nå lenger masterstudent da, men du var i hvert fall det, Joar Landa, som dere vil høre fra etterpå, har levert en oppgave skrevet for Bright Products. Bright har et samarbeid med Norsk Nødhjelp, som blant annet jobber i Albania, hvor Bright har levert såkalte Solar Home Systems. Så i april så reiste Joar ned med sin IUG-mentor Katrine Garnes til Albania for å gjennomføre sitt feltarbeid. Oppgaven hans undersøkte de økonomiske og sosiale effektene av Solar Home Systems i Albania, et land med høy strømnettsdekning. Og med oss i dag har vi både Bright og Norsk Nødhjelp. Jeg lurte på om dere hadde lyst til å kort fortelle litt mer om hva dere gjør. Line, har du lyst til å si noe?
Ja, det kan jeg godt. Det okay jeg tar det på engelsk, ettersom jeg har noen ansatte med?
Yeah.
Yeah. So first I want to congratulate you for his master thesis. Well done. And introduce myself, Lina. I'm head of R&D at Bright Products. And if you ask me what is Bright delivering, I would say safety, first of all, in all forms and solution within the Pico solar category. And what is the Pico solar category? It's solar lamps with the possibility to charge other devices up to 10 watt panels. And how we do it at Bright, we have full control from development, solving the problem to the final execution. Last year I got an email from Joar, a master student in Stavanger University, that asked for the possibility to write a master thesis with Bright. And he studied industrial economic. I had to Google that before I could answer him. And then, I mean, of course, Bright wants to have cooperation with the students to open their perspective and see other solutions from other angles as well. So since Bright today delivers most of their products to the humanitarian sector, and they have delivered more than 4 million products to refugee camps, which is areas you can't really just make an appointment and walk into a refugee camp and see, can we do some study on our products? Then we had a cooperation with Norsk Nødhjelp, where we had a donation to Albania with Norsk Nødhjelp, the Bright Home System, which is a product that we have avviklet, but we have delivered almost 200 products to Albania. So that became the project you and Bright worked on together. And there's a good description of the project starts also in your master's thesis in section 2.2. So you can read more about it, or maybe you will mention it. So good luck with the presentation. Looking forward.
Tusen takk. Thank you so much. Line, vil du at vi skal fortsette på engelsk? Har du med deg folk som ikke snakker norsk?
Ja, et par stykker. Men det må jo være ok på Joar.
Han nikker.
Ok.
Perfect. We'll continue in English then. Yes, thank you so much. And then we have Norsk Nødhjelp here as well. Would you like to say something about what you do?
Yes, I can do it on behalf of Norwegian Aid. Yes, first, congratulations to Joar on your master dissertation. I'm very much looking forward to see the results presented, so it's very interesting. My name is Helene Mo Kårby, and I'm the CEO in Norwegian Aid Foundation, Stiftelsen Norsk Nødhjelp på norsk. The Norwegian Aid Foundation, we are a smaller development and humanitarian aid organization, and we work in Albania, Kenya, and Tanzania. And in this regard, we came into contact with this project because we were approached by Bright, who we have worked together with in some smaller deliveries of the solar systems in our existing projects, and also then Albania, which we had also in this project. So yes, that's us.
Wonderful, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, then it's time to hear more from Joar. As mentioned, there will be time for questions or comments at the end, so please go ahead, Joar.
Well, thank you. I hope everybody's hearing me fine. Get some nods on that, and thank you. All right, English will be the language. I have prepared everything, our slides in English anyway, but I'll try to use English as my language. First of all, I really want to thank everybody for coming, first of all. And then I also want to thank Bright Products, Engineers Without Borders, and Norwegian Aid Foundation to actually make, and the Door Albania. I don't know if they're here, but I also want to thank everybody for making me be able to have this master thesis, and in such a rewarding way it's been to have this thesis. So the thesis is Economical and Social Impact of Solar Home Systems, and it's in a developing country with high electric grid coverage. And this is about Albania, and here you can see on first slide, it's on in the field trip. I'll get more into this, just starting with the background. Background is the Use the Sun project, which was mentioned. And it's organized, as said, by Norwegian Aid, Bright Products, and the Door Albania, where the Door Albania has been the delivery and the organization mostly in Albania, and then it's been going through Norwegian Aid, and the products are from Bright Products. So it's been delivered 184 solar home systems. I kind of figured out that I haven't explained solar home systems really well in this task. As you can see, it is those boxes that are on the pictures, which have a solar panel, a small battery, and a control system, as well as lights and also input ports or output ports for USB. Output ports only, I mean. And the goals of this project was to have an environmental impact, economic benefits, and community awareness, where the environmental impact is lower greenhouse gas emissions and promote cleaner air. And economics is to support families in need with the solar industry and reduce energy costs for consumers. And the community awareness is to educate communities about the benefits of solar energy and sustainable practices. So why Albania? A little bit about the background. It's an upper middle income economy, which does make it significantly lower in GDP than a lot of its European neighbors. So compared to the arena it's in, it's doing economically significantly worse. But compared to the overall global economy, it's still in the upper middle income. It also has a large amount of rural population. About 54%, 57% is rural in case of in the classification of NUTS 3, and the average for the EU 24 is 27 is 23%. And they also have a population decline, which is coming from people moving out of the country and also low fertility rates. So they also they have a lot of renewable energy, which most of them is hydroelectric power. They also have some solar power, but as you can see, pretty small amount of it is from that. They also still have a power deficit, unfortunately, which leads them to having to import a lot of power, even though all of their produced power is renewable. So what's the goal of the thesis? It's coming from a wish to make people's life better. And there's a low amount of literature available on this specific field. It has a lot of literature around solar home systems, but solar home systems has been used mostly in places where they have little to no grid coverage, in the literature at least. And this is one of the first I've seen or found, which has in country with pretty high grid coverage. And as we can see soon, pretty high grid coverage does not really say everything as well. The grid coverage is just a number in a very nuanced world with a lot of factors as well. And social and economic benefit was the easiest way to compare this to other literature sources and also have a very solid foundation of what we're actually analyzing and discussing. So this is the field team, which we call us Drita Power. And it's Kastriot, which is to the right there driving. He's from the Door Albania. Jasmina is behind me, also from the Door Albania. Katrina far away in the back there, which was my mentor. Mohammed to the right of Katrina, and then Lina to the right of Mohammed again. And then it was me. Drita Biti means light in Albanian, and it was a lot of talking about light, which is really symbolic as well for what this product really does and what it means to them. And now I'll throw it over to Katrina, my mentor.
Thank you, Joar. And yes, I also congratulate you on your master thesis. And thank all who have joined the presentation to see what we found and what we have been researching in Albania. It was exciting to go to a country where we would expect everything to maybe be like home in Norway, especially on the electricity side, and to see how much impact the solars had in this country. So my job, my bidrag, I didn't know in English, was to help Joar before the field trip, to guide him and to prepare for what we could maybe expect, and follow up through the field trip and also after. So, but Joar has been a very easy person to be a mentor for. He is very independent, so he has the most of the credits for all. But it was a very nice experience for me also to see. Yes.
Okay. I really appreciate Katrina as a mentor. She has been so helpful, and she's been contacted various times a day, not always the easy time, and she's been available, and I really appreciate that, Katrina. So thank you. A little bit about the method, going straight into it. The key principles I used is to establish a daily load profile coming from the consumption and production of the system, where I can simulate the data from the PVGIS, which is a photovoltaic geographical information system, that the EU Commission usually uses, and I can use that to find the correct production data for the specific location and the specific panel and everything. And then I can simulate that with Simulink. The consumption data comes from interviews where I ask questions about how much they used and how much, and try to be as precise as possible, even though we are how precise the data can be, which will only be helped by having more quantity, which was what I'm hoping for, to have enough quantity to make the data precise enough, based on only reports from people. And in the economic, I was going for the levelized cost of energy, which seemed to work really well and is really common to use in the renewable settings. And honestly, I'm not too pleased with the results, but we'll get into that. And then the payback time, which was a really simple way to do an economic analysis, as this is a really simple system and a simple purchase to do from a household or a person, when you can buy it and you will only think how fast will I be able to pay this back. And then for the social, I was looking at the household composition and their energy situation, and focusing a lot of how this would give them safety, or what was the functions of this and how it would affect the household. And then for mostly I've used the quantitative and qualitative data, and in the interviews as well, I use structured, and we noted observations and that. I'll get into that from the next. And also we want to thank Bright Products for the data they've given me, which is essential and actually for the system specific data as well. And the interviews. So we did about 15 interviews, which usually took about 15 minutes each. And we had questions ranging from 17 to 19 questions, or even more, where most of them 17 to 19 questions were structured, and then we had additional questions, or if not. And we also noted down observations like what systems do they use, where do they mount it, and what angle and what side. I'm sorry, do I take questions in the middle? I'll take a question. Okay, Sunniva.
Sunniva, did you want to?
I'm very sorry. It's just that I get the notice that I kan ikke vise presentasjonen, so I wonder if there's something with your settings that maybe can help me see the presentation.
Okay, I can share in the regular way, but I want my notes as well. Is this happening for anyone else?
No.
I'll share it again. Wait, give us a...
Okay, do that. If not, maybe it's a setting on your side, Sunniva.
Maybe. Then I will just leave it.
We'll try again.
Thank you.
Do you see it?
No.
No.
That's okay. I will listen then. Thank you.
I can also send you the presentation afterwards. Okay. Okay. So each interview lasted about 15 minutes. We were on a pretty tight schedule, but we only had 2 field days, but we actually managed to complete all of the planned interviews, and we're really happy about that. It was really impressive organization by the Door Albania, most of all. And in addition to the structured and unstructured questions and observations, I really got to know more feeling of what was important for the different participants, which was really nice to have going forward in the master thesis. It really helped me know where to have focus as well. And I really couldn't have gotten this from transcribed interviews or any other existing literature with information. I had to get this directly from looking at people and talking to people and understanding them, which is why I'm really thankful that I got to conduct this field trip with interviews. So I'm going to go straight into some results, and they're pretty graphy. I like graphs, so this is the thing. First of all, I did some production analysis, which this is the mean hourly power generation, and it's divided into months. And as you can see, the winter months are staple lines, and the summer months are straight lines, or solid lines. And it's about the hour of the day. And this, as you can see from this, it's really about, you have a narrow window. It's not too much difference between summer and winter, but they're also still really noticeable. This is a country that is situated at a latitude pretty far north compared to the normal countries which are existing literature have been done upon. And I also managed to collapse all the data into one average set, which was the consumption. And I also did a confidence interval regarding how many samples I had, to make sure that the data was okay and decent enough to use over a simple set. So I used mostly techniques of just collapsing everything to make it a good old average, to make it a mean, so I can use this to actually get some real data. If not, the data would be pretty binary compared. And this is the state of charge of the battery on the system, and also a graph of production and consumption. So this really shows the difference in summer and winter. So in summer, you will have excess production and the battery won't be empty because you're producing way much more than you're actually consuming. So you can see the consumption is the green and the production is the red. And the state of charge is on the top side, and it's the one that floors up and hits 1 and does drop down. And in no sign is going to 0, which is really good. You don't want the battery to go to 0. That will shorten the length of or lifetime of the battery as well, which is really great. And you can see on winter, it still doesn't go to 0, and it still stays about 20%, which was pretty equal to what we heard recorded from most people, which was that the battery usually didn't run empty, and they were able to make great utilization of the systems. As we can see here in the winter time, it is perfectly utilized, and you will get a lot of benefit out of the actual system. It will do its job. And sorry, yeah, that is correct. Now we'll go to the results for social. And here I focused on both energy composition and also safety. So first of all, each house usually had more than one energy source. Household, I mean, had more than one energy source, which was, most of them all had electricity. Most of them also had used gas for either heating water or cooking. And then wood was also oftenly used as well. So, and this was really common. And I think one of the reasons why it was really common was also because of the frequent power outages on the safety side here. The interviewees reported a lot of frequent power outages, lasting a lot of them lasting up to 3 hours, and being several a day as well. And some of them, I have only categorized it into sometimes and often, because that's the most precise data I got. But usually sometimes was meaning once, sometimes a month, and often was meaning several times a week. And off-grid, of course, was the one that was recorded as off-grid. And the grid connection, you can also see that a lot of households were using a legal connection to the grid because they had no other way of paying for the electricity, which made them use illegal connections as the best way out. Most of them were connected to the grid, and also had their issues with that. But those who were illegally connected had often been cut and then been without electricity for a while, and then had to connect themselves back. And some were also living off-grid. And this is in a country with 100% grid connection out of the families we met. And we also see that the solar home systems helped remove candles. Almost a lot of them removed candles after getting the solar home systems, as the candles were an emergency system for light, and the solar home system effectively functioned as an emergency systems for light, especially if you were connected to the grid, which made a lot of them feel a lot more safer. A lot of them were really thrilled from being able to cut away these lights. And a bit about the household electricity economics. A total income was situated around between 100 and 500 euros a month, and the normal being about 300. Electricity was usually around 30 euros a month, but also ranging a bit up and down. And we also have the payment reduction, which was self-reported payment reduction that had been after receiving the panel, how much payment reduction in their energy bill had they received. And this is self-reported, not actual data, but how much they believe. And that was also not a question in the report. It was just reported by so many people that I actually brought it in as well. And I also included energy bill as a percentage of their income. As you can see, even though some energy bills are not too large, and a lot of them are using cheap and less energy than other countries, they still have a lot of electricity, a higher electricity bill percentage-wise than other countries. And for the economic, we have the levelized cost of energy, which were between about 20 euros per kilowatt hours. Bit difference in how what systems were used and what type of calculations and factors you take into it. Increased lifetime would lower this a lot, but it's still not near what is effective for solar energy. From the graph we can see, or from the table, we can see that if you would increase the lifetime to 25 years instead of self-reported 5 to 6 years, you would have a much better levelized cost of energy, which 25 years, which was what I would calculate would be the maximum lifetime of the battery before it reaches 80% capacity. Also with 0% discount rate. You can find a lot of more tables with different graphs in my master thesis. From the payback as well, we can see that even with the fair price, which is the purple column, which was the question of how much could you be able to pay for the system. or the fair price they would have for the system, which was a self-reported price, which a lot of them said they would not be able to pay for the system, and some people set a price. And even with that price, the self-reported how much they would pay, the payback time is still way above what a normal payback time would be. You could assume around 10 years, and we're looking at numbers much higher than this. And what this really means is that the value of this system is not the economical value, but people value the system a lot more than its economics benefits. They value this system because it has the functionalities and it has, and then I'm assuming most of it is because of safety. In the discussion, I've been discussing economic and overcharging. The overcharging was something we had gotten reported from almost everyone, which said that in December they will get overcharged and they will have to pay a lot more for their electricity than normal. And it will not be because of the actual usage they have of electricity, but it will be because of the assumed electricity usage they have. And they will be charged the same. I have also referenced articles in this, the master thesis. And that really was a reason why a lot of them wanted to get away from dependent, because they didn't really like the situation they would have to be put in, and was really felt treated unfairly. And the social, we saw as the safety as electricity access was the most important. People really felt safe being able to wake up at night, even though the power outages, or if it was power outages, and be able to put on light just to go check on your baby or check on a child, or a disabled child, or an elderly person. And that was usually in the most they had one or more they had to take care of in most households, which really helped the social side. And in general as well, this the way of organizing this with the Dora Albania seemed to be really successful. I've been looking at existing literature, and I've seen a lot of issues. They report a lot of issues with the system, with it not being completely having its issues with the maintenance of these systems, and in general. And here we can report nothing of that. All of the systems were really well taken care of, much more than we expected, maybe, going into this. And also everybody was had the organization's phone number and would call if there was anything wrong. And they really had an ownership over it, but I also had sorry, I can't find the words. I'll just go to the next slide. Conclusions is that this really is the social benefits of these systems are great, and that you cannot look at the economical side of the systems. So that was the in general conclusions that came out of the study. And I looked at a lot of different factors, and usually it's the safety, as Line said. It really is the safety that these people value in these systems, and it really seems to be doing a difference in their lives as well. So thank you, that was it.
Thank you so much, Joar, for an excellent presentation and great work. I also have to thank Katrine for very, very good mentoring once again. So then we have time for some questions or comments at the end. Please just go ahead and unmute yourselves, or you can raise your hand. Yes, please go ahead, Christian.
2 questions. What is the actual cost per system? And secondly, apparently the cost efficiency is low. Why are these not competitive as we see that solar systems in general are competitive?
That is actually a great question. And I was thinking in the ways of, there's two parts. First of all, the cost of a system is in the master's thesis. I don't know how if I should disclose it or if it really matters at all. But I'll just leave it to say that it is in the master thesis. But why it's not actually comparable to residential solar value or residential solar power is because it's not actually a solar panel, it's a system. And it took me a long time to realize that this is actually not a product which is created to generate electricity. It's a product which is made to bring light. And the way it actually gets the electricity is by using a solar panel. And the way it is functional and actually can store energy is because of the battery. So I think that's why it would be too unfair to really compare it to the commercial or residential solar power generation. But it's a great question, and yeah, I think that's what I've concluded on why I can't do it.
Maybe you could share the price in a chat or something, just because the price is important. If we want to continue along these lines in other projects, we need to know what the cost is. Otherwise, it's not really useful. Thank you for your answer.
Thank you, Christian. We can also mention Christian is from Engineers Without Borders Denmark, also working in Sierra Leone, right? And Ghana at the moment, also with solar power.
Only in Sierra Leone, but with solar power.
Right, yes, thank you. Mohammed, please go ahead.
Thanks. Congrats, Joar, first of all. Can you please say a few words about the environmental impact as being one of your objectives? That's my first question. My second is, have you considered doing sensitivity analysis? What if questions, in other words? Like, what if the consumers have cut the connection to the power 50%? What would that have impacted the payback period, for example, and etc.?
Can you repeat the last part?
Have you considered making scenarios? What if those families have cut ties to the power, to the grid, even though they have the systems, right? So as per your presentation, they are not using it as a main electricity source. But what if they force themselves to use it more? Would that have changed the results that you have presented now?
Yeah, okay. So first of all, the environmental impact was not a part of my goal for the thesis. It was excluded as it was just the scope was too large. So I didn't want to include environmental impact, and it was also not too easy for me to find literature, or that was at least my excuse. It was a goal for the Use the Sun project. I did look into people's behavior around it, but ended up excluding it from the thesis as well, because I really didn't have any solid foundation for data that I could give out and conclude anything. So sensitivity analysis did not occur to me to do. If thinking at the systems, going back to the slide where utilization displays, we can see that the consumption is perfect along the winter time, which makes me feel like there would be no difference in the actual economics anyway. What would be different would be a sensitivity analysis with the electricity price and the costs of actually using this electricity. Albania is a surprisingly cheap country to use electricity. And a lot of even, or it's stated as a really cheap place to have electricity, but as we can see, the overcharging is really common as well, and it costed a lot of Albanians much more than the actual price they should have to pay. So doing a sensitivity analysis on the electricity cost would actually be really helpful, and also be able to make this more applicable for other countries which have a different electricity cost. So good impact. Good thought. I haven't thought about it.
Thanks.
Thank you. Any other questions? Comments are also welcome. No. How did you find it to be a part of the Meaningful Masters program, Johan? How did you kind of get the idea that you wanted to do it?
Yeah, as I said, it stemmed from the same as the goal for the thesis. Was just to do something more meaningful with my time, and to make me more engaged in what I'm actually doing, which was I was looking at pretty dimly to just write a normal master's thesis for the school that would be reported into the system and never used, and never looked at, and never really regarded. And it was really nice to do something that could actually be helpful for people, and that's what I really felt as well while being there and conducting interviews, where that this was really important to them as well, which is really nice and really helped me write the thesis as well. Really motivated me for that. So that's I think that's the main. Yeah, it's simple as that. Yeah.
Thank you. I think we'll move over to Sunniva. You have a question.
Oh. Sorry, just a comment directly from Albania. I'm sorry I didn't get to see the full presentation. But of course, we're very happy to be part of this, and just want to thank you for doing this research in one of our projects. And I'm really looking forward to look more closely at your thesis as well, and share with the people here. I'm been with Jasmina and Castro today, and I'm sorry I didn't know this was in English, or I would try to get them along, but I will meet with them later today and share this. I think very good conclusions for the work they have been doing. The social benefits is of course very important to us, so we are very happy to hear that that's part of your findings. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sunniva. Very happy to hear. And we kind of winged it in English. We started in Norwegian and realized Bright had some colleagues in English, so we changed it. So I hope that Kastrit and Yasmina will be able to see it. I mentioned it in the beginning. This is being recorded and we'll publish it to our website. I can send you the link when it's out. We can also send you the slides, and the master thesis is going to be uploaded as well to our website.
Thank you very much. That's wonderful.
Anyone else? Question or comment?
I can sum up a little bit the field trip from Brightside. It was me and Mohammed. I went with Bright Products down with Joar and Katrina to visit, not revisit, but visit the home systems that was installed in the different households that we were able to see. Is that how neatly and well done and properly has been executed and tied up, and also how the Snøbel, the Dor Albania, and Use the Sun project has trained young students to also install the different home system in the houses. And also that you could see that they're being customized to fit into the house. So it's not just like randomly put up. Was well thought through, especially when we went to the psychiatry home and saw how the safety or social impact they had in that 3-floor house. They had 4 systems installed. And the safety aspect during the night, that they can leave this on all night in this, even though they're on the grid, is an unstable grid as well. So we helped them a little bit to angle the solar panel so it's more effective charging, and how to maintain in the sense of cleaning as well. But it was really unique to see as well, especially used in also area that these products are not designed for or developed for. It's developed for more the sun belt around the equator. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Katrina, did you raise your hand? Did you want to say something, or you what?
I also, Katrina first.
I just wanted to say to Synnøve, but I sent her a message. But it was so nice to hear that Kastrit and Yasmina, you have to thank them and say hello to them. They were wonderful. If it hadn't been for them, we would never have reached the goal to get all the information and all that you are needed. So thanks to them, this was possible. And to you, I just had one comment. Maybe if you said your thesis was not, you had not, how can I say, time for everything. If you would recommend a thesis or something that a new Master of Meaning could, what would you say would be interesting to go further on and maybe look into?
I would definitely argument for delving deeper into the social questions and having more structured data on the social questions. I really think that detailed data there would be the way forward to really know how this affects the life of people. Even though all of the additional questions we asked were really helpful in the discussion. Having structured data is really what's or hard empirical data is really nice when presenting the results as well. And I realized during the results phase that questions I thought were superficial to ask was really important to have noted down so that you can get a solid data foundation. And that was, I think, one of my almost biggest mistake, at least, that I really didn't realize the importance of just asking the same questions to people and getting the same answer. That I was thinking that was a bad thing, but that is a really, really good thing, you know. So yeah,
Thank you both. All right. Final, last call for questions or comments. No. Just at the very end, I'd like to remind you, I know Heidi also put in the chat, that the next presentation is in exactly 1 week, Thursday next week on the 18th, also from 3 to 4 p.m. Please join us for next week as well. We'll hear from 2 master students who did their meaningful masters with Norwegian Refugee Council on digital transformation in the humanitarian sector. So please join us for that. And thank you to everyone participating, everyone listening in. Special thanks to Bright, Norwegian Aid, The Door, Joar, and Katrine. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.